Hey BookTube, it's Sheila, back again with more of the Heir Chronicles. This time I read The Dragon Heir, and obviously it's the next one in the series, number 3, by Cinda Chima. She's really starting to get into her stride. She's published, I think, 3 books by now, and she's starting to get that much better as a writer. She is still limiting herself on expanding a lot of characters at once. She seems to have developed Jack in the first book, so he stays kind of consistent, and then Seth in the second book, and he stays fairly consistent. He doesn't do a lot of growth in this book, but he does have a fair bit of changes. They show how powerful he is. Trinity, the sanctuary, they're trying to cover it in this protective wall so that obviously no attack magic can happen. It's supposed to be a sanctuary. So in him trying to keep this wall up and running, he does share it with other wizards, the good ones, but he seems to always be looking after the wall. He seems to take on more than he can handle, and it's just weird from how much they're trying to emphasize how powerful he is to start with. Admittedly, he's only like 17 in this book, so understandable that he can't necessarily do things as easily as older wizards. On that same line about not really developing characters as much, Linda and Leander aren't really in this book so much. They take a back seat. We're introducing other people because this one actually focuses a lot more on Madison Moss. We get to learn a lot about her home life. We get to learn about what drives her, especially with her younger siblings. Grace is just so full of spunk. I love her. It makes me like Maddie more because in my last review you'll see that I said I didn't really like Maddie a whole lot. But again, she's this great character. She's got a lot of personality to her, and I love that about her. I'm not entirely sure still that I like her, but again, she's a great character. I love how built she is. There's so much to her. And as much as this book is about Maddie, it definitely has obviously the other characters in it that we're used to. Jack, Ellen, Jason's still in there. It actually starts out with him. He has a fairly large role in this, even though it's kind of seems like backseat. But he makes some real questionable decisions. I mean, obviously, different things drive different people, but Jason just, I don't always know why he's doing what he's doing. It's frustrating. Alicia seems to get fairly redeemed in this book. She does a lot better than she used to, considering she was consorting with the Roses and, kidnapping people. This is much better. But it really starts out with Jason stealing things from the Roses that they didn't even know they had. And essentially it all revolves around this Dragonstone because these beautiful covers always have something to do with what's going on in the book. And this stone, no one knows what it's for, no one knows how important it is, and it's just a conundrum. And it's real fun learning who wants it, why, and how they go about getting it, and just everybody's all over the place. I'd say it's good times, but it is quite the roller coaster. There's a lot of up and down in this book. Can I help you? As well, you'll notice that it's called the Dragon Heir, and there are no guilds called dragons. It's something entirely different, which makes it all the more interesting, because when I first found out that this series has 5 books, and there are 5 guilds, you would think that there would be one for each guild. There is not. Turns out there is no book for seers because they are too boring. In fact, seers are barely seen in these books. It's a little disappointing, but I guess there's only so much that can be said about someone who can see the future. It's just, oh, I know what's coming. Oh good, we avoided it. Now there's something new. As simplified as that is, I feel like it could have been a good book. It just isn't. So this was definitely an interesting addition to the Heir Chronicles. It was actually meant, I believe, to be the end of them. There were only supposed to be three, and then later on, Cinda just kind of revisited and added the other two. So this one, it is certainly still an ending. It's just, you know, the story does continue afterwards. So I did love this book. I loved it as an ending, but I'm also happy that it continues. So, you know, maybe a 4 out of 5 on this one, because I'm not reading any of the other books. This is going well. Anyway, that's it for this edition of my Heir Chronicles review. See you next time, BookTube. Keep reading.